What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sophia and this is my channel, Sophia Sees Beauty, where I review all things beauty and makeup. And another thing that I'm very passionate about is foodie. So today we are going to be reviewing the new CHIKUHODO X Beautylish Year of the Tiger brush. This is their Lunar New Year brush that they just launched for this Lunar New Year, and I'm gonna be doing a full review, giving you guys all the details, lots of close-ups of this gorgeous brush. I'm also gonna be doing a quick demo and then some very important comparisons to other similar brushes in the CHIKUHODO collection. I also have been getting a lot of questions about how this brush compares to the new Koyudo Lunar New Year brush, so we're also gonna be doing a comparison of these two. So if that is something that you guys are interested in, keep watching. And maybe you are new here because you searched for Beautylish Lunar New Year brush or you stumbled upon this in your YouTube recommendations. Well, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I am new here on YouTube and I produce about 2 to 5 videos per week about all the new luxury releases and a lot of other fun content. So if you guys are interested in that, please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm and it lets me know what kind of content you guys enjoy. All right, guys, let's get into the product details of this absolutely stunning brush from CHIKUHODO and Beautylish. I have a bunch of close-ups for you guys so you can see all of the details of this gorgeous brush. This particular brush was produced by CHIKUHODO in collaboration with Beautylish. This is something that they actually put out every single year for the Lunar New Year, and typically what you're getting is the same exact brush made of blue squirrel hair, and the main difference between these brushes is just the beautiful lacquered design on the front here. So this year it is the year of the tiger, so we're getting an adorable little tiger motif, which if you guys don't know, I'm a complete cat lady. If you watch any of my other videos, usually my cat is like sitting on the console table in the background or playing with her toys or something like that. And so as a complete cat lady, I had to get this Year of the Tiger brush. I love it so, so much. And so this particular brush, as far as I know it, it is exclusive to Beautylish. So I will link that down below so you can shop this brush. And the other cool thing that Beautylish did this year is that they also released the past brushes that they released for the previous 3 years. So if I'm not mistaken, we have the Year of the Ox, the Year of the Pig, and the Year of the Rat. And those are all equally as cute, equally as stunning. So if you guys missed out on those, definitely check the link down below, and that's where you can shop all of the brushes from the previous years as well. This brush, as I mentioned, is made of blue squirrel and it retails for $125. And I know that that is extremely expensive for a powder brush, but I will say blue squirrel is some of the most luxurious materials that you can have for a brush. So this is going to be extremely soft and airy. I can't like describe how soft this brush is, and you'll see in the demo how beautifully it applies the bronzer. So this is a luxury item. It also has this very unique lacquer wear technique, which adds to the price. That being said, in our comparisons, you'll kind of see that this brush, it does retail for less than a lot of the other very luxury CHIKUHODO brushes, which I think is a big appeal of this brush as well. I'm gonna be reading a couple of words from the Beautylish website just so you guys can hear a little bit more about the brush. Ring in the Year of the Tiger with this year's Lunar New Year brush, a collaboration between Beautylish and skilled brush makers in Japan. This artfully designed, carefully crafted powder brush is as delightful to use as it is to behold. Exquisitely soft blue squirrel hair picks up and disperses powder over the skin without emphasizing pores, texture, or dryness. Master brush makers carefully bundle the bristles by hand to ensure your products go on smoothly and seamlessly every time. The perfectly weighted handle features a Year of the Tiger design, illustrated by artist Steph Fung and rendered in metallic Makie lacquer. So hopefully those close-ups were helpful for you guys. I really like the look and feel of this brush. In addition to the incredibly soft bristles, you're getting just this absolutely stunning tiger design, and I love the detail of kind of like the little stars, the little moons, the little flowers. They have a very beautiful, like multicolored pearlescent look to them. I think in terms of overall design, this is absolute perfection. Now do keep in mind, if you have any of the other brushes from previous years, according to the website, just looking at the specs of the bristle length and the handle length and the materials, etc., it does seem like these are all the same brush. I don't think that they're meant to be different. I think it's really just, you know, this is a collector's item, so they change the design every year, and maybe one year you like the design and maybe another year it's like not worth it to you. But in general, all of these brushes are the same across each year so far. I also want to mention lastly that of course this brush is limited edition. We don't know if after it sells out, if it's coming back. It was really cool that they brought back the brushes from last year, but I just want to mention if you really want this brush, I would consider getting it this year because there's really no telling, especially with supply chain issues and just the fact that these are handmade items and they can be, you know, it's hard to get these kinds of things back in stock. We don't really know if this brush is going to be coming back. So for now, it is a limited edition item. All right, friends, now that we know all of the product details, let's get into a quick demo and some comparisons. All right, party people, I've got you up close and we are going to do a very quick demo with the brush using one of my favorite bronzers, which is the Gucci bronzer. I have this in the shade 01. I think this is a really great shade for those of you with paler skin like myself. And this brush can be used for all over powder, bronzer. I think it also works really well for blush as well. But personally, this size brush, I like it most for bronzer. That's how I'm going to be using this most of the time. So I think you trying it out with bronzer is a great idea. So I'm going to just tap it in and I'll show you right there how much it's picking up. So it picks up a decent amount. This is squirrel hair, so it's going to be very soft on the face and give us a very airbrushed application. I think that these kinds of brushes as well are great if you have maybe a bronzer that's like a tad too dark for you. Maybe it came in a palette with other products and you want something that's very blended and looks natural instead of patchy. That's what I think these types of bristles are really good at. And it's so soft. Like it is like baby's breath, like a cloud sweeping across your cheeks. It is really, really beautiful. And even though it's picking up, like I'm really digging in, it's picking up so much product. Look at how easily it's going to blend it out. And I can just kind of even go like that. It makes it application very, very quick. Let's go across the nose. See, this particular size, I think it's kind of the size of your cheek. So I feel like this in particular, it's good for bronzer. That's kind of why I like it. It's good for all over powder as well, but personally, when it comes to powder for me, I really don't powder that much because I have dry skin. So I actually like to use very small brushes for powder because I like to just put it in very precise areas. But yeah, this is going on extremely smoothly. I think that if you have any of the other brushes that I'm about to compare for you in just a second, you are going to find that this works just as well as all of the other squirrel hair brushes from the brand. And there we go. I am just showing you guys what that very smooth application looks like. I will link all of the products that I have on my face in the description box below, including my foundation and my concealer. I'm just wearing the YSL skin tint. So this is a very light coverage foundation, or skin tint rather. And you can see that the brush, it's so soft, it didn't disturb any of the skin tint. So some of the problems I have with skin tints is like they're very moisturizing and they're very sheer. And what I like about this brush is that it didn't cling to the very moisturizing formula, and it just blended everything really seamlessly without kind of wiping away everything that I did, because it's light coverage, so like I don't want to wipe it away because then there's nothing there. All right guys, I hope that demo was helpful for you all. Obviously you can't really feel this through the video, but you could kind of see how seamlessly it applied that bronzer. Now that we have that done, let me compare this to a couple of other very similar brushes in my collection that you guys might also own. All right, let's do some quick comparisons with other similar brushes in my collection. When I saw this brush, I instantly thought of the CHIKUHODO Z series line because all those brushes are also made with squirrel hair. And the one in my collection that I'm going to compare it to is the Z9. If I'm not mistaken, it's a little bit smaller than the Z1. So it's the powder brush in the collection that's a little bit smaller. And this is what that particular brush looks like. I will post some close-ups and kind of like aerial shots so you can see each of these brushes. This one is made of gray squirrel hair and it retails for $178. So it is more expensive. And I just want to show you guys kind of the difference between these. The Z9 is much rounder and kind of a little bit more compact. It has a little bit more of like a dome shape, whereas the Lunar New Year brush is flatter. It has a little bit more of like a flatter overall shape, and it also splays out more. So this is definitely more airy, and I think that it kind of blends the product out a little bit more easily. This is great if you want something that is just a little bit more precise because it doesn't splay out as much. But in terms of softness, they're both equally as soft. They're both made from some type of squirrel hair. Again, like super duper soft and airbrush feeling. It's just, you know, this one obviously has the gorgeous design. It's a little more splayed out and it's cheaper, which that's great as well. The next brush I want to compare it to is this one. This is a recent addition to my collection. And let me make sure I get the full name correct because it is a mouthful. This is the CHIKUHODO Makie Series MKKO powder brush. I'm just reading off my laptop right now. And this is made of ash squirrel, okay? So this one is blue squirrel, this one is ash squirrel, and obviously the handles are completely different, but I just want to show you, if you have this brush, that the bristles on the Makie series are just a lot longer. This is overall a slightly bigger brush than the Lunar New Year one. I would say they are very similar in the sense that they have that kind of same shape when you look at them from the top, but in general, this is gonna be a much bigger brush, and I think that this is probably better if you want something for overall powder application. But again, at the end of the day, like, they're equal in terms of softness and quality. It's just a slightly different shape. And again, this one is also much more expensive than the Lunar New Year brush. The next brush I want to compare this to is also from the Makie series, and this one is the Makie series MKUM powder brush. And this is the one that has that beautiful little like cherry blossom detail on the front. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And this one retails for $178. These are all very high priced brushes, and once again, this one is cheaper than all of the ones that we've talked about so far. And so the biggest difference with this one is that the bristles are a little bit more narrow, and I would say once again, the Lunar New Year one is just a little bit airier and more splayed out. This I like for sort of blush because it's a little bit longer, but it also is not too big. So these are very similar, obviously, as well in terms of handle. This one has a matte black handle and this one has a shiny lacquered handle. I will be completely honest with you guys. I think that this is a much more stunning brush than this. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I was actually like a little disappointed when I first got this brush. This is one of the first sort of high-end luxury powder brushes I got, especially from CHIKUHODO. And I just think that like this particular detail right here could be a little bit better. And maybe it's just the fact that I really like this shiny lacquered look. So I'm just kind of putting it out there. I think that for something that is like $50 less, I think that this Lunar New Year brush just feels and looks a lot more luxurious, but that's just my personal preference. Everybody likes different types of designs. Nonetheless though, the actual like quality of the brush is equal. The last brush that I want to compare this to, which is very different, but I'm sure a lot of you guys will be asking about this, and I've already gotten questions about it, and it is the Koyudo Year of the Tiger brush. I have a video that I already did with tons of close-ups and all my thoughts on this brush up here on my YouTube, so I will link that here and down below. But this brush retails for $135, and it's made of CHIKUHODO goat hair. So what are the differences between these brushes? Obviously, this one is a lot smaller. It's a little bit more expensive. It's $10 more expensive. I think in terms of the lacquer wear, like they're equally as cute. They're equally as cute. Like this, I saw it and I was like, I need to have that. It's a different vibe. This tiger is a little more cartoony, and this tiger is, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's not cartoony, but this one is just very metallic and it's got these beautiful like pearlescent details. Whereas this one, obviously, if you're like me and your favorite color is red, you're probably really into it. But also the main difference is just the usage of these brushes and the bristles. The squirrel hair of the Beautylish brush is so soft. It's a lot softer than the CHIKUHODO goat hair. That being said, this is still a really good quality brush. I really like the fact that this is so travel friendly. It's so cute and small. And I think that this brush is also, I think that it's just like a little bit more functional because of the shape. And I talked about this in my video, but just kind of covering it here. I think because of the shape, you can do a lot of things with this. In that particular video, I used this for bronzer, blush, contour, and highlight. So you can use these for a lot of different purposes. Whereas I think the Lunar New Year brush, I think this one feels very luxurious and the bristles are higher quality, but I don't think, like, I'm mostly just gonna be using this for bronzer probably, and also for blush. So maybe just kind of keep that in mind. Lastly, in case this is important to you guys, I also wanted to mention that the Koyudo brush comes in this very cute, like, box. It just comes in this really cute box. I was gonna say gift box, but my point here is that if you're going to be giving something as a gift, you might want to consider the Koyudo one because it comes in this really cute box. So if you guys are gifting this to somebody who celebrates Lunar New Year, that might be something that is important to you. I think the box is like a super special, super cute touch. I'm not throwing it away. Like, I store the brush in the box. But yeah, those are my major thoughts about these brushes. I think both of them are super cute. These brushes are different enough that if you want both, you can get both and you can use them for different things. But also, if you already have Lunar New Year brushes from the previous years from Beautylish, or maybe you buy one of the previous year's ones this year, maybe you want to get this one because all of those brushes are basically exactly the same except for the handle design. So this could be another option. It's almost exactly the same price, but it's very different. So you get a little something different in your collection. Okay, friends, I hope that those comparisons were helpful. Those types of comparisons are always super helpful for me, so that's why I wanted to include it. Now let's get into my final thoughts. All right, guys, thank you for watching that demo and those comparisons. Now it is time for my final thoughts. What do I think of this brush, and do I think it was worth the $125 price point? Honestly, for me, yes. I have never bought one of these brushes before in the Lunar New Year collection, so this is a new experience for me. I just think the quality is superb. Like, I think you're getting the softest bristles. It's a really functional shape. It's something that I know I like and I know I'm going to use. I also absolutely love the design. Like, the little tiger is just so cute. I love the details of the little moons and stars. I love how shiny it is. I love how pearlescent it is. I just think this is an absolutely stunning brush. I think what, in terms of if you're thinking of purchasing this particular brush, what you need to keep in mind is just the fact that, number one, if you already have one of the Lunar New Year brushes from Beautylish, this is essentially going to be the same brush. If you already have those brushes, you're kind of just buying this as a collector's piece, which I think is totally fine. If this is something that you collect, I think this is gonna be a stellar addition to your collection, but just kind of keep that in mind. It is going to be the same brush. I almost wish that they would do something similar to what Wayne Goss does with his holiday brushes, which is it's a different brush every time. So you're kind of collecting the brushes and they're all superb quality, but at the same time, you get something different. So you have this full collection of like different shapes, different styles, different bristles. I really like that, but that being said, I still think that what they do each year with these brushes is something very special. Now, thinking about if you have other squirrel hair brushes in your collection from CHIKUHODO or other brands, in terms of like the quality and your makeup application, I don't think that you need this as an addition to your collection. Like, all of these brushes that I have right here, especially the ones that have the decorative handles, I'm collecting them. Like, I'm collecting them because, number one, I use them a lot. Number two, I enjoy the luxury experience. Like, this is a luxury collector's piece. I think if you don't have any brushes from CHIKUHODO, I actually think this is the one that I would get. If you don't have any other brushes, I think that these are adorable. They're the same quality as these, and it's cheaper. I don't understand how this is cheaper than these. If you guys know, if you have more knowledge of Fude than myself, because by no means am I an expert, I'm just a collector and an enthusiast, please tell me, like, why is this one cheaper? So I actually think this is a fantastic value and a great addition to a collection, or it's a really great brush to be like your first squirrel hair brush from CHIKUHODO if that is something that you have always been wanting. Plus, it's like a very special limited edition piece and has this absolutely gorgeous design. I think that this one is probably my favorite out of all the decorative brushes that I own. It's not that I don't like these, but I think this one is my favorite if I were to compare them against all the other CHIKUHODO brushes in my collection. Now, once again, just kind of summarizing my thoughts about how this compares against the Koyudo Lunar New Year brush. These are such different brushes that if you are a collector and you really want both of them, I think you should get both of them. Get both of them. Like, you know, if you really want that, you know, they're totally different brushes. So I think that that is okay. That being said, if you already have a bunch of these from previous years, maybe get the Koyudo one because it's completely different. It's equally as cute. It's a different bristle type, so you're getting something a little bit different in your collection, but it's still really good quality. And it's only $10 more. Plus it comes in a really cute gift box if you want to gift it to somebody. So those are kind of my thoughts about these. I just think that like this is good for powder and bronzer, and this is good for being something that's a little bit more travel friendly and multi-purpose. So I think that they're both great in quality. They're equally as cute, but it really kind of depends on what you're looking for and what you already have in your collection. Anyway, guys, I hope that this review and all of the comparisons and my thoughts were helpful for you guys, especially because these are very expensive items. And I know that, you know, a lot of you folks who are collecting these, you probably already have other Fude, you know, items in your collection. So I really want to give you all of the details to help you make a good purchasing decision. And if you like this video and you like Fude videos and you love luxury makeup, please consider subscribing to my channel. You can do that by clicking the subscribe button, and you also can hit the notification bell to hear about every time I post a new video. And don't forget to give your girl a like if this was helpful to you, if you just enjoyed it. It really, really helps me. And better yet, leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys are going to be picking this up, or maybe you picked up one of the other brushes that I compared it to. I would love to hear what you guys think of these. Again, this is my first one from the Lunar New Year collection. So this is my first experience and I really liked it. So comment down below and let me know what you think. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I will put my handle here and in the description box down below. We have a lot of fun over there. In fact, I usually post sneak peeks of all these types of things that I purchase and swatches and like quick little demos and just little thoughts to my Instagram before the videos are up on YouTube. So that's a really great way to follow me to see what I'm gonna be reviewing, what I've been purchasing, what I'm shopping, and other great deals that are happening in the beauty community. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you're all having a fantastic week, a happy new year, and a happy Lunar New Year, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.